Now, look, check out, new mic, new wireless mic, so you can hear me better. And it's not the only thing that's new. You may not notice, maybe the more eagle-eyed of you may notice that, for example, the headrests have this cloth here, which the other car didn't. Yes, it's true. I've upgraded to a 2-litre diesel, and it was quite the collection caper. Started off very early in the morning. It's nearly 6 in the morning. I look like crap, and I'm waiting for an Uber. Very first time in my life that I'm using an Uber. Really, honestly, swear to God. And the Uber's going to take me to the coach station. The coach is going to take me to Lisbon. It's going to be a long day. It's 6 in the morning. Very empty. Lisbon has been achieved. Now I've got to find where it is. I've got to catch the train towards Sintra. I have arrived at my destination. There you go. Now let's go and pick up the car. So now I own the car. I've bought it outright. It's mine, and I sold the other one as well yesterday. It all happened rather quickly. And my first impressions of the car are, what a marvel. What a wonderful... I mean, listen. Can you hear that? That's it. You can't. Not as much as the other one. This is much smoother, much more refined, without a shadow of a doubt. The car itself has some niggles, but I was expecting that. It's a second-hand car. It's 12 years old, sorry. This is a 2010 HDI. 163 horsepower, so it must be probably one of the first with 163 horsepower. Smooth as a supermodel skin. Got to be careful, because in 6, this thing still pulls like a train. And look, nearly 130 kilometers an hour, and I didn't even get to 2,500 revs. The 1.6 would be screaming now, that might be alone. Ah! So that's a massive difference. I like the way that it pulls. It's got a much nicer shove to it. I like the display. I like the color. I like the interior. I like the black trim, actually, even though the other day one of my viewers, Mr. Nicehearted, showed me his interior painted silver. It looks brilliant, but I do like the black. But yeah, this is great. By the way, to Mr. Nicehearted, who suggested a 2015 blue HDI, I didn't get it for a couple of reasons, and let me put you all up to speed. I was considering getting a much more recent car. I've been suggested in the comments by Mr. Nicehearted, get yourself a post 2015 blue HDI, because they're Euro 6 compliant. And I thought, yeah, it's not a bad idea, because they're much more modern, and they probably ironed out a lot of the bugs of previous years. That usually happens. It might not always happen, but usually it does. And I actually got that ball rolling. I talked to some guy in a stand in Lisbon, and we actually worked out some details. But then my mechanic said, think twice. AdBlue has its share of problems. So it would seem that AdBlue, which is, I think, based on urea, AdBlue creates a crystalline deposit in the fuel tank, so to speak, the AdBlue tank. And also, I think it can clog up the motor. And if that happens, you're looking at a very hefty repair bill. So there's that. And then there was the fact that it was much more expensive. I'd have to borrow money to buy the car. And then there was something else that, for me, that was the deal breaker. I noticed there was no radio in the car. Turns out post 2015 Citroen C5 X7s have touchscreens. So I've binned that car. In the meantime, and there was another good reason why I didn't buy that car was the guy sold it. He didn't tell. He sold me he wasn't going to sell it. He said he'd wait for me to make up my mind, and he didn't. So screw him. This was 2 days ago. Didn't wait 2 days. But anyway, I digress. This car came up. Now I did notice it did have some imperfections in the paint. There's that. I also noticed the interior was a bit scuffed, but then again you'd expect that from a car that's 12 years old. I like the mileage, 157,000 kilometers. That blue HDI, 150,000 kilometers. So basically I got the car with the same mileage. Apart from those imperfections in the paint, there are scratches, there are dings here and there. There are some other things in the car that are shortcomings. Now, there are bits of trim. This door surround mount, I don't know what you call it, but the door handle surround is in very poor condition. Someone seems to have pulled it out and it broke. So I'll replace that. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll make that work. It's not a big thing. There's a scratch on that door that's really driving me nuts, and I haven't had the car for 2 hours? 2-3 hours at best. I like that. As predicted, this has sat-nav. Usually the 2 litres here in this country, they all do, unless they're VTRs, which is very, very, very rare indeed. The sat-nav is hopeless, absolutely trash. I tried to use it a bit and I just gave up because it was so crap. It's got xenon headlamps. If it had the touchscreen, it would have been the trifecta of things I hate in cars. Xenon headlamps, sat-nav and touchscreen. Leather seats as well, doesn't have that. That would be the tetrarchy of things that I hate in cars. But yeah, it's been quite a day. I'm tired. I'm probably going to have to stop a couple more times before I get back to Porto, because I do feel tired and I'm not going to take any chances whatsoever. But anyway, the impressions are good. The car seems to be good nick. Oh yeah, also, this seat is in poor conditions, so it'll probably have to be like re-upholstered or something sometime down the line. As for consumption, 6.1, not brilliant, but then I'm not trying hard, and there are loads of hills in this area, loads and loads of them, and just keep going uphill and uphill, so it's not helping. I'm very impressed with the colour screen. Never thought I'd like it that much. I really feel bad now. And yeah, I'll probably check it later. So yeah, that's the car so far. So sit rep. So we're now 90 odd kilometers into the journey, which is just over 56 miles. And for some reason, the infotainment system just reset itself. What happened? I have no idea. I really don't. Also, it doesn't have Bluetooth streaming, which I find a bit odd. I managed to put that in my previous car, although it didn't come with Bluetooth streaming from the factory. It has to be said. I put a second-hand radio that I bought from China, from AliExpress, and it had streaming. And I really wish it had streaming, because streaming is brilliant. It doesn't have USB either, and I don't know if I can just plug in a USB cable into the back of the radio, and lo and behold, it'll work. I'm kind of doubting. But I'm a bit miffed because of that. Music options aren't great. Can't complain. Still got AUX, AUX. Don't know if you actually say AUX in England. Oh wow! Passing Obivush, which is beautiful. This just pulls like a train. The performance is superb, and I didn't even mention, of course, the best bit: the suspension. I'm home. God bless hydropneumatic suspension. But yeah, did I say the sat-nav's hopeless? It's hopeless. Sit rep. I am passing through the pine forest of Leiria, planted by King Portugal back in, 1300. And basically the pine wood from these trees allowed Portugal to explore the world and become very, very rich. Very interesting story, in my humble opinion. I've still got about 170 kilometers to go, which is just over 100 miles, about 106 miles till I get home. You're probably wondering what happened to the other car. Well, I sold it, as you can probably imagine, and I sold it actually to someone who would watch this channel. If you're watching, hello. Which is a good thing, because that way he was able to, well, if he watches the channel, he'll be able to see for himself how much I like that car and how well I took care of it. If I can just brag for just 1 minute, if there's anyone that I could buy a car from, it'd be Ed China, probably first. But then it would be me, because I take great care of my cars. I really do. Not to boast, but I do. I have to, because my dad took terrible care of his cars, and what would happen would be that we'd be stuck out in the middle of nowhere because something was wrong with the car, and he said, well, it lasted this trip, it will last the next, and so on and so forth until it broke, and I'm, oh god, it broke, who'd have thunk. So anyway, I do take good care of my cars, and I think that the buyer got a really good deal, and I hope the car is well taken care of. I really do. I was very sad to see it go. In fact, my daughter was also, my youngest, was crying. She cried so much that I like this car so much. And I was like, don't worry, babe, we're going to get one that's just like it. And it is. It's great. I'm very glad. I'm very glad that I did the swap. At least so far. I've only done 130 kilometers in the car, more or less, give or take. This is really as a first impression. I had to stop for a nap because I was so tired. The day began very early this morning, as you've seen, unless of course you skipped the first part of this video. But it's like night and day compared to the old car in terms of performance, in terms of the feel of the car. I'm probably going to have to do an actual review, like, I did 4 parts of a review, I'm going to have to do like a part 5. I have to get myself some Red Bull. No, other brands are available. So naked. But anyway, the sixth gear is the 8th wonder of the world. It's amazing. It turns the journey much more relaxed. The engine doesn't feel like it's on edge all the time. Well, of course, that and the fact that it's not a 1.6 with 110 horsepower, but a 2 litre with 163 horses galloping around in it. I'm really loving this. This feels like a completely different car at speed. Oh god, this is marvellous. And you don't have to get out of 6th gear, you just leave it in 6th and whoosh, it ushers you along effortlessly. That's what makes motorway cruisers proper cars, the effortlessness. Honestly, when you've got something like this, why would you want like those incredibly expensive GT cars? This does the job incredibly well as well. I never understood that. Like a GT is like a big Aston Martin with a 6 litre engine. I'm sure it's great, but this is as well. What am I doing? I'm comparing an Aston Martin to a Citroen. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at is this does this incredibly well. This thing of munching up the miles. So yeah, with that said, I think I'm gonna wrap this up. This was quite the collection caper. Can I say that, collection caper? The first time I heard it was Mr. Hubnut. I don't know if that's like his idea, his invention, the term collection caper. Well, if it is, I hope he doesn't sue me for copyright infringement. Hopefully not. He'll never watch this anyway. But yeah, that was quite an adventure today. And I'm very happy with my car. Very happy indeed. Come on! I'm stuck in traffic. Sort of. So yeah, the way this pulls. Oh, it's so good! Oh, it's addictive, it really is. It's a smoother pull. The other car had a more shuddery pull, yeah, like that. This is much more smoother power delivery. I like it a lot. Anyway, that's enough for me. You've heard enough of my blathering. Thank you very much for watching if you've made it this far, and I bid you all farewell. Hope to see you in future videos. Bye bye.